Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tammy Reger, and today I'm going to change it up a little bit. I'm going to talk about what's going on energetically for you. Now, September is a very energy-packed month. Now, 2024, every month has been super energetically packed, but there's a lot of change that's coming in this month. Now, I am not an astrologist. I am a medium of sorts. This is not my main thing that I do, but I get a lot of hits or I have dreams about things that are coming that we need to prepare for ourselves individually. And I've been getting a lot of those hits for this month. And I get a lot of my signs about what energy we're in from songs. I get them in my head. It isn't something I necessarily hear on the radio. I don't listen to the radio that much unless I'm in my car. And so I'll have these songs like playing in my head consistently, either when I wake up in the morning or just like right now. It's the main theme is in my head. And I'm going to draw some cards as to what the general consensus is from a higher self's perspective on what is happening in energy of September and what we each need to do in order to prepare for this jump that's coming. There is a quantum jump in this month. We're always jumping timelines. You jump timelines every day, whether or not you know it, it always happens. But there's a giant jump coming this month before even the eclipse, which is the 17th or 18th, depending on where you are in the world. And it's building in, but there's a lot of stuff that has to be cleared to allow that energy to come in so that you jump. There's no, oh, I can't, or any of that else. And the information that I had gotten is that it's another level of consciousness. They won't give me a name to call it something, but they said it was not a consciousness that we have been able to access since before Lumeria. So this is we're going way back. And so this puts us more into the energy of the Garden of Eden, the element of joy, of the frequency of love, empowerment, enlightenment, which is more in the energy of Lumeria and even predating it. When I say we, I have a group of guides that I work with, mostly Egyptian, so Thoth, goddess Isis, Sekhmet, Anubis will come through a lot. So that is my spiritual guides that I work with. And they're the ones that have been on my path the whole time, like you need to do this, you need to clear that, and so forth and so on. So I'm being asked to provide you all a runway so that you all can get into alignment so that you can shift in this in a way that it just happens. There's no chaos or anything like that. I do get that whatever this is, everyone is going. No matter where you are on your soul's path, everyone is on their own soul's path at different points. We're all going. What happens after that is where things start to weave itself out. Like if you can't stay there, then, then you have to do something, right? We are moving to a different energetic planet. This is the new Earth, right? So there's no fear here. We're not talking about this from a fear perspective. This is a place from empowerment. This is coming. This is part of what you've signed up for. This is what your higher self has been waiting for you to be able to really step into truly who you are and do what you're supposed to be doing without all the resistance, the obstacles, the fear, the struggle, the sacrifice. Like the age of that is ending. We are moving into the age of joy and in that, we move into energy of thriving. So one of the song I've been hearing is Back to Life. Now, that is a song from, I think, the 90s. So if you're an 80s or 90s kid, you know this song. It's Back to Life by Soul to Soul. And I'll link the video below for that. It's with the lyrics. There aren't a whole lot of them. It's really the repetitiveness of the same words over and over again, but that is the energy that's coming in for September, where we come back to life. This is not because you haven't been in this life. It's just coming back to the life of who you really are, who you were created to be by source, and being able to move in that essence in your life instead of who you have been in this life thus far. Now, you can ask with a pendulum or muscle testing how close you are to being 100% back to life. And know that very much there can be things that are preventing you from being able to be fully back to life. It's okay if you're at 20% or 30%. It just means you got stuff to do to get out of the way in order to be 100% back to life. If you are struggling with doing that, you can always schedule a session with me and I can help you through that so that you can be back to life. Word of caution. I've been doing this with some of my clients as well as myself, and some of my clients just can't get to 100%. Don't try to force yourself to 100% right off the bat, especially if you were back to life maybe 10, 20, 30, 40%, because it's too much of a jump. Your nervous system has to be okay with this, or it will find a way for you to manifest something so that you go back to where you were or potentially below. So I have had a couple of clients who I had said, I'm supposed to leave you here. And they said, no, I want to go to 100. And I followed them instead of my own. And in the end, they ended up below where they were to begin with. So that was a lesson for my client to learn as well as myself. So, and it's really that trust. But I tell you that because if you work on back to life and you're at, let's say 30% and you get to 60%, you should ask if I should go farther today or whether I need integration time before I get to 100. This is not a race. There's no race to get to 100, okay? You will get there. And the more you can let go of getting there, the faster it will happen, okay? So that is the song I consistently hear in my head over and over and over and over again. And it literally will not go away until I have dealt with whatever that is, or we've moved past that energy, whichever one. The other thing that has come in with the energy of September is the energy of the horse. Now, many times I've worked with energy of the horse, and it's always about riding on the back of the horse. And that is not the energy of September. It's about becoming the horse. It is the energy of the free spirit, the freedom to roam or run without second guessing yourself or worrying what other people will say and do, and just really being in the energy of who you are. This is a meditation that I'm going to do on this channel in the next couple of days to really work through the energy that is preventing you from becoming that horse energy that is in the energy of September. I'm not going to do it as part of this video. I tried to do that in the waiting video, and I just have a hard time going from channeling to doing the meditation piece. I was kind of scattered. So I'm going to separate the two, and I'll just link the meditation to this video. Okay, so I'm going to just draw a couple of cards from a deck that is no longer being printed, but I absolutely freaking love, which is the Oracle of Portals by Tess Whitehurst. I just love these cards. So we're going to start here and then see if they want to bring in any other card decks. And this is a message from your higher self, as I work with a collective of higher selves, as well as the Egyptians to help you understand what's going on and what's in the way and what happens when you make the switch. Okay. So while I shuffle these and I wait for them to tell me to stop, where are you not allowing yourself to run free? What does running free mean to you? What does it mean to literally go for it like a rocket ship? When they show me the horse, it's like you are the horse and everything around you is, I don't know how to describe this, but like when you go really fast, you just see streams of light. There's no, can't really pick objects out. Could you get your horse to that speed? And if you can't, then what emotions are coming up or fears are coming up around that? Because those are the things that are holding you back. The energy of freedom is, or another level of freedom is coming in September. And we're being asked to embrace it and be with it. This is interesting. Is it all going to be realm cards? Okay. Most of the time I don't have to use the book for these, but these two cards, I'm not really sure. So I'm just asking what we're doing. So where you're coming from is the underwater realm. This has to do with obviously water, but water has to do with emotions. And being able to freely move through the energy of them. You're being summoned not onwards or upwards, but downwards into the watery deep. Water is soft and yielding, yet is powerful. It can carve deep canyons and dissolve giant rocks into the tiniest grain of salt. Enter into the watery realm now. Start by disconnecting from technology and to-do lists. For just a short while, allow yourself to float quietly under the waves of everyday consciousness and escape the gravitational pull of linear language and thought. Telling me not to. I'm cheating. Okay. They're saying this is a call to come back to yourself, to get out of your head, to listen to your heart, allow the energy of the movement of water to surround you, cradle you as you come back into who you have always been, but have been unable to grasp and manifest into the physical world. There's nothing outside of you that needs to change in order for this energy to come in. Now, there's a lot of obviously things happening in this country as well as around the world, but none of that is where your focus should be. It should be focused on you and where you are going. So can you allow yourself to rest? Can you allow yourself to feel the emotions within you that would rise to the surface if you were to allow yourself to relax into the gentle caress of water? Water is a transmuter. It washes away what no longer serves us. And many of us hold on to things that we're afraid to let go of because we're afraid of how we'll survive or how we'll pay the rent or how we'll find a partner. And we're so focused on the how of it that we don't let go and allow ourselves to be cradled by the energy of water, allowing it to flow and guide us to our next right step in order to achieve what we desire. This is not the to-do list. This is not doing for the sake of doing. This is allowing the water to guide us. And part of this is allowing the water to show us what emotions are stuck in our body that are preventing us from being able to achieve our greatest dreams and dreams beyond even your physical dreams, which could be just paying the bills. This is your soul's dreams and its aspirations for what it wants for you in your life. You have the capacity to have this, but you must slow down. You must be in the energy of that relaxing water wave that I'm seeing is like this gentle rocking motion. There's a cradle of water waiting for you to relax into and allow yourself to be embraced by it. And in that embrace, you come into the energy of rebirth. And this energy of rebirth in the month of September is go time. Now, I had done a video maybe a couple months ago. Time is very strange for me. Where I was talking about how we're splitting between our old and our new self. And for a long time, many of us on this journey have been able to play both sides. We've been able to play in the spiritual realm, but also have a job and be another person who is separate from this spiritual being or essence of who we are. That fence that many of us have been on for many years, including decades, where we've been playing on both sides, is going away. And September is where that fence disappears, which means you have to choose which side you're on and which one you're going to play full on. There's no wrong choice here. You can still choose to be in the old, or you can choose to be in the new, but you can no longer be both. You have to be fully who you are. And the essence of water is for you to allow yourself to surrender to the possibilities of the new and allowing it to guide you. So where are you not allowing yourself to be guided by the universe or by the flow of water? Where are there rocks and boulders that are in the way? The time to switch is now. It's not months from now. Oh, I will move when this happens. I will be my new once I pay off all my debt, or I have enough energy or enough time, or I have a new job. And you're just postponing what is already yours. But it requires you to surrender to the energy of water, allowing it to guide you and soothe you and allow you to let go of the emotions and the pent-up potential that you've been holding back for all of this life, but potentially other lives as well. And that is preventing you from being able to really connect to this energy of the new and rebirth that. And in water, they're showing me how water doesn't let you hold on. If you think of a flood, right? It's going to move you. There is nothing that you can do to hold on. You must let go. But you don't have to experience the floods of water for that to happen. You can choose to let go of now and let this soothing energy of water to guide you. Now, if you hang on, kicking and screaming to the pole because you're unwilling to look at your unexpressed emotions, your potential blocks, what emotions you're unwilling to feel, or not willing to really let go of either the new or the old, meaning the spiritual essence of yourself or the 3D limited self, then you may find yourself having more and more water flood into your life, trying to get you to let go of the pole so that your higher self and source can show you what is really possible and what's been waiting for you all along. Many of us have put our dreams on hold for X number of reasons, and they don't want us to do that anymore. That's what you came for. You came for that. It's already been paid for you. It's already been created in the quantum field that already exists. That version of you that already has all you desire exists. But in order for you to have it, you have to let go of that old self and the old way of thinking and the old way of doing so that the water can gently, or maybe not so gently, move you to that version that your soul wants you to be. Okay. And with the energy of the horse, it's the energy of still letting go, just running. Water does not unless it's really trapped, but for the most part, never stops moving. It never stops moving. Okay, unless it's like, a river is really low and there might be some puddles and that, but even then it's still moving. It's evaporating, becoming steam or dew, or it recycles. It's always in motion. Water is never still, but many of us, including myself, have been here where I've caught myself in this stagnant pool of water, not allowing the water to recycle itself, to renew itself, to move, to show us how easy it can be if we just allow ourselves to flow. Yes, there's going to be rocks or bumps, but they don't have to be big. We can just say, okay, what is this? And let it go. And then the river keeps us going. But many of us are either gripping on a rock and won't let go, or we're trying to paddle upstream, which doesn't work either and will burn you out. Okay. The second one is the realm of the Fae. This is the return to Earth. We are moving to this new energy, but Earth is part of that experience. If you're in a physical body during this life, Earth is part of your experience. Earth is one of the manifestations of the third dimension, including your body and all the things that you have in it, are manifestations of your desires within and other dimensions into the physical reality. But some of us are so focused on the future, are so focused on only being happy when X happens, or not taking care of our physicality. And this doesn't just mean our physical body. This means our energy around our body and what's actually in there. It's the return to the energy of descension. Now, I will probably do a whole video on this because this is very important. There's so much focus about ascension. That is not the full story. And if you just focus on ascension, you may hit some rocky blocks. Okay. If you've ever watched the movie The Dark Crystal, which I love, it used to be on Netflix, but I'm not, and they made it a series. I'm not sure if it's still there or not. But I can't remember her name, but she was like this mystic, and she slept for, I don't know, thousands of years because the Skeksis had convinced her that only the heavens mattered and that Earth didn't. And while she was gone, Earth was dying. The series is so intricate to a lot of the things that have been happening through many, many centuries of living on Earth since Atlantis and Lemuria, where we got out of touch with the element of Earth and her connection to us. We are part of her. When we die, our bodies become dust, become part of her. We are birthed from the elements of her. There is no separation from her. And in ascension, we focus on getting away from this version. We go up this idea up there. Ascension really isn't up there, but I'm gonna go there. Ascension is almost looked at as a energy of escapism in some ways, not all the time, but sometimes. And it's all this energy where we focus on our upper chakras, crown, third eye, throat, and maybe heart if we're lucky. But a lot of us spend a lot of time in this area, and this is the ascension piece where we're focused on going up. And yes, the energy of merging with your higher self is there, becoming one with source is all of there, and that's all important. I'm not saying it's not. But there's an energy of dissension that needs to happen. But so many of us have been culturally and societally programmed to believe that dissension is somehow evil, equated with the devil, hell, right? Going down is hell. So many of us have a lot of stuff around that prevents us from being in the energy of dissension. But dissension is connection to Earth. That is what your lower chakras are. Solar plexus, sacral, root, your feet are all part of the dissension cycle. Dissension is the connection to Earth, manifesting on the physical, manifesting in the 3D. This is where this is at. And all this focus on the going up piece, the ascension, is taking us out of our ability to then be able to manifest what we are creating in the ascension in this physical plane. You have to be able to look at your root chakra and your sacral and your solar plexus. But more than that, you have to be willing to work through where your stuckness is in the 3D. In the world of manifesting, you know, especially creating your reality, we talk about creating your reality is instant and then manifesting, but the 3D is part of that. That is what you're going to manifest in. You're not going to manifest having a new car in another reality. It's only quote unquote real, meaning you can touch it in the 3D. So you have to look at that. This jump that we're going to make has to do with both. It has to do with the balance between the two. And the universe only exists in balance. And anytime we get out of balance, either way, the swing back is sometimes really hurtful. And when we just focus on ascension, we're out of balance with the energy of descension. Descension also has to do with the divine feminine and her cycle of creation, which again, I'm not going to get into in this video. But you have to be able to look at all of the stored emotions in the lower half of your body. If you want to be able to manifest, they're saying the crescendo of what your soul has wanted you to experience in this lifetime. Because without it, you're not grounded. You're not fully in your body. You're spending all of your time in your head, you know, the hamster wheel going round and round and round and round and round, when you're not really allowing yourself to feel into why you cannot fully ground into the moment, ground into your physical body, which then is what shifts the matter around you to reflect what you truly desire. But if you have anger or blame or shame or powerlessness in your lower chakras, you could try every manifesting trick in the book. It ain't gonna happen, because it's almost like your 3D energy of your body's in a jail cell, and everything that you want is outside that jail cell in the 3D. I see it as almost like pixeled energy where like little sparkling dust. It only comes into matter once it manifests in our physical world. But if we have all these like prison bars around us because we haven't been able to work through powerlessness, helplessness, victimhood, blame, shame in our lower body, which creates its own energetic field, you might manifest, but it's going to be herky-jerky, and it's not going to really come in the way you want it to be, because those chakras that make things happen in the physical are in the lower half of your body. So heart, solar plexus down, really heart down, but let's go solar plexus down. So in order to manifest, those three have to be, not three, there's actually five below the main ones, and then the knees and feet. If you have anything in those, it's going to be like cement. So you must look at those pieces. A horse, its legs are its power. You know, those legs move, they go and they run, and they can stop on a dime. Okay? How are your legs? Are your legs moving? Are your legs stuck? Here's a great thing that you can try. You can ask, is my internal traffic light in my right leg red or green? And then to do the same thing in your left leg, because your legs represent moving forward, how fast you can move. And if your lights in your legs are red, then you have something that's holding you back in your 3D energy. Your 3D energy is not part of the ascension. That's out here. This is the Akash. This is the Akashic records, your soul records, the halls of Ameni, ancient Egypt. It's all up here. But the 3D experience is in those lower chakras, in your ability to be able to move forward, be quick on the dime. So the horse, the energy of the spirit, is be able to get your legs to move. Now, obviously, like a horse has 4 legs, but that's, but it still has that energy of movement. A horse is, when it's poised to go, it goes. It doesn't have any blocks on its legs. It just goes. So where are your legs specifically stuck? And what needs to be done to free them? And then when we get past this, we get the mastery card. Now, mastery comes in balance. Mastery does not come at ascension. Okay? We are rebirthing our higher selves into our physical body. That's ascension and descension. But the only way that you're going to birth your higher self into your physical body is by having the energy, the openness to do that in the lower half of your body. Now, for me, I've struggled. God, I've had so many things, the lower things in my body for years. I had a DVT behind my left leg, 15 years ago. I have all kinds of problems with my knees and my hips, and it's all because I wasn't paying attention. Like, my body's been trying to tell me for years that I have stuff in my field that is preventing me from being able to manifest what I desire. It's not because I'm not worthy enough. It's not because I haven't done enough, that I have to do something to get it, to all these things. It literally is because I have built cement around my body so I couldn't receive it, that I couldn't follow the right steps. I was spinning myself in circles, not knowing what the hell to do, throwing spaghetti at the walls, hoping something will stick. And it was all the time my body was telling me that energetically I had stuff in the dissension energy, which is also the feminine. The masculine is more in the upper chakras, that are preventing me from being able to manifest what is already mine. Once you create it internally, it's yours. But there's so much lack of focus on the 3D and the physical aspect of that. As long as you're on Earth on this timeline, you are in the 3D. Many of us, including myself, like, I would test myself as being multidimensional. I'm multidimensional, but I would get that 3D was separate from me. It's not. 3D is you. You are the 3D. You are the manifestation of the 3D. And when you start to wrap your head around that, which took me a moment, you start to see how your idea that the 3D is something outside of yourself that needs to change has actually been preventing you from manifesting. You are the 3D. You are the manifestation of the idea of who you are in the 3D, which means you have to make sure that this physical manifestation of you is not preventing you from receiving what you want, which is part of that descension cycle. The ascension is out here, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th dimensions and above. But the 3D is your experience of all of that that's happening in the multidimension. And 3D is supposed to work with the energy of being multidimensional. So you're pulling things in that you've created in the 4th, 5th, 6th, or whatever dimension you're at into the 3D so that you can experience it. The experience of it happens in the 3D. And when I did the video about 3D, I got a lot of kind of some pushback on that. But if you are not, which doesn't bother me, I have worked through so much of this stuff at this point, and I understand what that is, okay? And everyone gets to have their own opinion. Agree to disagree, and that's fine, okay? For those of you who are ready to hear this message, you are not separate from the 3D. The 3D is the manifestation of your physical experience, which means you are the 3D. this part of you that you can touch is the 3D. It is not 4D or 5D. There's no physicality in any dimension higher than 3D. So you are the 3D. And when you start to understand that you're the 3D, which means you are the source of the manifestations of everything that you have in the 3D, and you get that 3D energy to move properly, because again, there isn't a lot of focus around this, getting the energy of the 3D that is projected off of you through all the electricity that runs in your body, getting all that to move so that this 3D essence of who you are and who you've manifested is works in alignment with your multidimensionality. I know for myself, those two aren't quite working together yet. There's still this energy of not separate limitation in my 3D essence of who I have manifested as. I'm working on that, work in progress. We're all work in progress. I always say there's always more. And once I can get that energy to move, my 3D energy to move in relation to the energy of the multidimensionality of myself, manifestation becomes easier because it's working together with that multi-dimension. And then we start to have the experience that many of us are already getting, like, this shouldn't be this hard. Why is it so hard? It should be easy. I've been told that I can manifest things instantly. Why isn't that happening? And it's because your manifestation of your physicality has limitations within it, energetically. These can be from past lives and this life, as well as inherited. So the call for September is to focus more on the physicality of yourself and where the stuckness is. The horse is super grounded, super grounded. It knows, it follows its inner knowing. It allows its magnetic sense to guide it to its destination where it can't see anything. When I see the horse, everything is blurred around it when it's running at full speed. It can't see anything. There's no landmarks for it to see, whether it's in a safe place. It's using its magnetic sense, which is in our physicality, to guide us to where it's going. And that is the call for September. Getting comfortable in your physicality and remembering that it's a manifestation of you in the 3D. I heard this recently about my body being a manifestation of my physicality in the 3D. That's what it is. And then instead of it somehow, I think I felt it was my body was separate from the 3D. But it's not. It is the ultimate expression of the third dimension, of you being birthed into a 3D body as part of your experience. And that's what these cards are calling us to do. If we can get ourselves to be able to work through the energy in our 3D essence of ourselves energetically that are being blocks to us being able to smoothly work with the energy of the multi-dimensionality of ourselves, then everything gets easier. We get into this energy of mastery. But again, there can be a lot of cultural programming around dissension. And it's not anything bad, but that's the energy of December. The horse is also balanced between the two. It follows its natural instinctive guidance from, let's say, the ascension piece, the universe, but it is strongly ground in the earth. Okay. So if you have any questions about this, let me know. Drop them below. Any insights that you have, I would love to know. And I'm just going to start following the guidance. I'm still going to keep doing the reality creation stuff as they want me to do, but I'm also going to start providing some of this insight so that you can understand what is happening to you. There's a lot of focus on what's happening out there, but all of that out there is just a reflection of the stuff that's happening within us. And it's this call to change what's in us so that we can create something different in the future. And the energy of joy is really being brought forward as being the sweet spot. And if you muscle tested or used a pendulum and asked if any of your chakras are embodying the energy of joy, you might get one or two, but you probably will not get all of them, especially if you're someone who's struggling with anything, whether it's abundance, partners, jobs, people, doesn't matter. There's something in your 3D energy that's not allowing you to experience joy on the level that you're supposed to. And joy is not a fleeting thing. It's not just at birthday parties and celebrations or when you're out having a drink with your friends. Joy is an energy that just is, and you radiate that and you attract that energy into your life. It's an entire switch, but that's also the energy of September, and the horse embodies the energy of joy. Okay, so again, any insights, questions, drop them below. I will do the meditation for the embodiment of the horse energy, and I'll link that, that's linked below, and I will see you soon on the next video. Bye for now.